Hello and welcome or welcome back to your new happy place. I'd like to say thank you for the likes and subscribes, and if you haven't, please consider doing so if you find this interesting. So today I have a reading. I was going to do an all signs for the full moon that we have coming up in Sagittarius, which is all about shifting beliefs. But the cards that I got, I'm really driven to do a collective message first. I am still going to do all signs individually, but this, to be honest, this message um, brought me to tears earlier when I got the cards out. So I've been sitting on this one for a few hours, and it's really beautiful. So let me begin with this is Thursas. It is the third rune, and it means thorn. Exactly as it sounds, it would be, every rose has its thorn. Every painful experience has its beauty, right? That is inherently the message there. So bear with me here. We have from the White Light Oracle, we have the sun, 417 hertz. Now this says you have what it takes to be a self-luminous being. It's all about expansion from within. That continuous self-expansion, right? We have from the mystical shaman, the journey in reverse, which essentially, hi kitty, which essentially states, meow, this is North Star, a saber-toothed tiger kitty that rescued me from Walmart. She is our mascot. So the journey in reverse basically says it's not about the journey, the outward journey. It's about who you become. It's not the destination. It's about transforming along the way, which, gosh, these cards are just so together. The Queen of the Moon Oracle, we have faith. Faith. And we got two awake oracles. Be love. Notice the hands with the heart there, yeah? And we have release and accept. Hands again. Release and accept. It is a journey of faith. And even this figure here has their hands, it's personal. This one here as well. Shoot, even the journey. Look at his hands. Across his chest. That's amazing. Every single one of these, and I just noticed that. Wow. As much as I sat on this message, feeling so, I felt it personally, this full moon message. And, I'm always in awe of the way that the universe works. So, again, the hands. The hands. Be love. We're going to put these on the outside. Be love, faith. The journey. Hiking. Release and accept. She's motion sensor. Meow. Okay. So I have 4 archetypes here. One for the self, for this collective full moon message. Oops, I'm sorry, wrong way. This way. Okay, so we have the box for the self, which makes so much sense. This is our own self individual box, right? Again, this motion, but at the same time, we have those beliefs that, we do need to break through on a consistent basis in order to continue to, be love and release and accept, release and accept. That's a constant process of releasing and accepting, right? Your box is yours, is what I want to say there. We have The self as the box going into the realm of the self, funny enough, which is all about obviously the self, um, clarity, the prism, the eternal prism of experience, and how that is within you to find as much perspective as possible, to continuously break through this box, knowing that you're that light in the center. Now, this is the part that really threw me for the truth that it is. The underworld is what we have in our hands. And this is so, so true. We have, I think in the book it calls it the nightmare, the stuff of the shadow, the all of those things that we call it. But at the same time, it's in our hands. And it so obviously is that our experience is ours. I mean, that is repeated in every single one of these cards. Now, the why, the most beautiful part of this reading, is the prayer. Look at that hand coming out of the ground. The prayer is the why of this whole conversation. I just find that to be just... Look at that prayer. Did you see that roll over and cover the underworld? Yeah, baby. Release and accept. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad, because I really was like, I was really bummed to have to deliver this collective message in a way, because, like I said, I kind of absorbed it first. Or not absorbed, but, really felt the message before I pressed record. And again, it's the self, our self-proclaimed box. We go into the realm of the self, this golden pearl, this radiant self that all of these hands are, pardon my miming, but everybody's, grabbing a hold of their own lovely selves here. Their hands are full of love. And what we have here in our hands is a tool, as we are in the realm of the self, becoming luminous beings as light bearers. This card goes into, you are a light bearer, you have what it takes. To become a self-luminous being, and the prayer. The underworld in our hands, because of the prayer, they go hand in hand, right? And what I first thought of was, ignorance is bliss until it's obviously not, right? And it's like, at some point we have to recognize that every prayer is real, right? Prayer is real. Every thought is a prayer. Every intention is a prayer. You are speaking to your bit of God, no matter how you want to look at that. And you're being asked to go inward. This is about an inward journey, about what you become along the way. And this is asking you to have faith in the fact that you are a self-luminous being. And I think this full moon is all about that. Absolutely. Luminous. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some tarot, and I'm not going to be terribly long. But this message was just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And it's just like we have the world in our hands. Our world, our box, how we see everything. Every single thing is in our moment right now in our hands. And every rose has its thorn is classic. Okay, let me go ahead, because I'll go say the same thing for the Five of Wands is a situation that looks very much like the in between the underworld and the prayer. Energy being expelled, all equal, but competing with their fire. Okay, the can you see me? I can't see you. Why can't I see you? I'm not happy about not being able to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and make some stuff up, or, however all those games play out between boxes. Everybody's got the underworld in their hand, or, and praying at the same time, because internally nobody wants to, um, act as if that's all there is, right? Nobody wants to. All right. So that exactly. Nobody wants to. Then I'm sorry, I moved my camera, so I wanted to make sure. Knight of Cups. That's the self. It looks like faith and being love. And that is not necessarily an external thing. However, walking in a prayer is a wonderful place for the self to desire. The Nine of Cups. Exactly, the foundation, because we all know that there's more. We all know that there's more. And that's self-satisfaction, that Nine of Cups. Self-satisfaction, like, again, look at his hands. I'd like to see those as, again, complete, right? Complete in oneself. I love that. The present. I'm sorry, past. Knight of Pentacles. Self in the past. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Walking around with your box and the underworld in your hand. Like, okay, this is just, up until now, this is what I know. This is what I'm experiencing. But I know there's more. I know there's more, so I'm going to pray. But at the same time, I'm seeing the underworld, so I'm just going to go ahead and, let well enough be, is kind of what this feels like. Except for the prayer aspect lifts it up. We all want to be self-luminous beings, and this is what brought me to tears. We're all walking around with this underworld in our hand, praying to be able to shine as our individual selves within whatever box we choose to wrap around ourselves. Because as human beings, we like containers. We like reference points. That's what a Merkaba is all about, right? That's how our bubble works. That's how we know where our physical body is. Surrounding environment, please. Six of Wands. Perfect. Self-recognition. Self. That's wonderful. That's faith on a stick right there. Faith on a stick. This is the Ten of Wands. And I'm sorry, this is the Ten of Wands. This is going to be the self in the present. Okay, so with the underworld in their hand, as well as the prayer. Going into the self. Look at all of those radiance and the Ten of Wands. I mean, if you look down on that, it may look a lot like that, right? We are in the self, and we know that we have the underworld in our hand. And it is up to us, the energy that we project from that moment forward. And I think that's why that Knight of Cups is here, because I think anybody that might come across this particular message is really in this place of recognizing that it is in our hands. The shadow is only a shadow as long as nobody sees it. And if we just start a little bit accepting ourselves, accepting ourselves, then we can have that space to be able to accept everybody else, because it feels so good. Because it feels so good. I feel like I just yelled at y'all, but you're welcome. And thank you. Thank you. This is going to be how the Five of Wands plays out. The Three of Wands. Perfect. We are evolving. Most definitely. That is a self that is aware of the wand in their hand. And this comes right after the Two of Wands. That's their world. The posture of prayer. Expecting exactly what they intend. I like that. And it's a personal journey. That is an absolutely solo journey right there. And nobody can go in the underworld with you in your experience of it. And this is so very personal. Even if you have, another person in your life that is just the absolute, everything. This is not about that. This is most definitely that center point of yourself, your particular underworld, and your particular prayers. That's what's so devastatingly honest and beautiful about this message, is that every single one of us has the ability to be this sun, to radiate from inside. Just a little bit of self-acceptance after a little bit of self-acceptance. Be love, release, accept, right? It's about, fact or fiction. It's about what we continue to believe when we have the truth in our hands. Okay. I have the Hanged Man on the bottom right now. Wow. I really am feeling some type of way about this. Just one, please. Self in the future. Please jump out. Thank you. Hi, there we go. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. Self in the future. Absolutely. Knowing that yourself is yours. Knowing that yourself is yours, and that your prayers, every word, every thought is a prayer, because it's all showing up. Whether you ask for a rainbow or a nightmare, it's gonna show up. And I mean that with all of my love. Start being aware of what you are creating. Release with love. And then accept. It's a flow, right? It's a flow. And when you do pray for something, you may get an opportunity to receive that something. But anybody that knows how to play with the universe knows that expect the unexpected, right? You gotta balance out that flow. Balance out that flow between, what seems as if let me keep going, because I do believe this is just such a big message, and I don't want to get into feeling as if I'm projecting. So let's see, what is in the center of the Wheel of Fortune? Whew, what is in the center? Maybe it's the thorns I'm feeling, yeah? It's those thorns. Okay. I'm healing for all of us. Trust me, I'm in the same place. Like I said, this brought me to tears earlier, because it's just so very potent. It really is time to have faith and transform to the degree that we can within our own selves without explaining it to anybody else, and loving every minute of it, because what else are you doing here? We didn't hop into these bodies to suffer. We came here to play and create and expect the best and give out the best, because we know that that's the flow. That pebble that we throw in the water, that's ours. It is. And the energy of that pebble's coming back. You've got to start to balance it out sometime. Little bits at a time in the moment that you're in. What else did I write here? You are a light bearer. Okay, so this is the sun. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. There's this out here. Pardon me. Where's my card? Okay. Fact versus fiction. Ignorance is bliss until it's not. Fact versus fiction. Fact versus fiction. Our beliefs are so important right now, and we are having such an opportunity. It's in our hand. We can release that forever. Right now, the way that the sun and the moon and the stars are, and the planets and the whatnot, it's time. It's time to take ourselves, our beautiful selves, in hand and dictate our own boxes, one breakthrough at a time. It's a layers thing of liberation, right? Layers of liberation. What's the center? Please. Thank you. Okay. We have The High Priestess. Absolutely. You can do this. Whomever this message is for, all of you. This is the wave of right now. This High Priestess. This is the center. This is the event. This is the catalyst. This is the bridge to this particular moment. And it's awareness of the flow. The High Priestess is just about the flow of being aware of the self. That center place, that the observer, right? Not your thoughts, the responder to your thoughts. That inner voice, the higher one, the self. And we will all become aware of that voice. And then we will also become aware of the underworld in our hand, which is those thoughts that we let run wild. And we don't love ourselves in that moment and counteract that with constructive feedback. Allow that good voice that's always giving us that feedback to hear it, to even just start to give it a little way. Otherwise you're suffering for you're not suffering for any good reason. This is all in your hands. This is your path. The Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Pentacles is the bridge. I'm sorry, not the bridge, the cross here. Between the Five of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Trusting yourself. That pentacle on her lap is so much this golden pearl in the center of this self. Self-worth. And self-worth is one of those things that once you claim it, it grows in compound interest. Right? Alright, let's hopes, please. What are the hopes for us? There we go. Page of Swords. That's our box. That's our words. That's our prayer. That's our underworld. Sorry about that. This is ours. And it's in our hands. Our messages, our box, our proclamations, our opinions, our underworld, our prayer. Where's our fear? Where's our fear? Queen of Cups, feeling it? Well, you gotta go through to get out. And your hope is this Page of Swords here, while your fear is the Queen of Cups. Clear conscience, clear prism is definitely preferable to the soup of the consciousness that, even the mass, what is it called? The consciousness, super consciousness, the grand soup of it all. You don't have to go because you can, and I can feel that. Because you can feel it all does not mean that you have to. I think it's time to start pulling back to self. Again, breaking through those boxes one at a time, pulling back your energy, because no one is responsible for anybody else's actions at all, period, ever. Not even a little bit. But at the same time, you are ultimately absolutely responsible for your own. And I think that's where the focus needs to be right now. Clear choices for yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Not yet. Not right now. This particular full moon, this is about releasing everybody else's opinion and responsibility for everybody else's feelings. And just because you can feel it doesn't mean you have to do anything with it. We ultimately have our own responsibility for our own self-luminous beings in the becoming, right? We all have to be love. We all have to release and accept in the best way. The star this whole time. All right, so how does the Queen of Cups evolve here over this cycle? Please. Are you coming? Okay. Ooh, perfect. The Chariot. Just like I was just talking about earlier. You're Makaba. You understand that this is all about you. That's a star riding on that I am's forehead as he rides this concrete chariot with two sphinxes as his leads, right? Understanding the riddle and riding the middle. This is all about the self. That is an absolute self. Full willpower right there. That's his hands. He knows what's in his hands. Everything. His world. He knows what's in his hands, that chariot. That's wonderful. We are growing. We are evolving. And that's what this full moon's all about. That's a lot of cards. All right. Let me get one for advice, please. Hi. Acknowledge your value. Yay. The Ace of Pentacles is the advice. Your absolute value to the universe, just because you are the only you, is the absolute place to start from. Absolute self. Look at that. Absolute self. In the hands. I love that. Thank you, Spirit. All that is, was, or ever will be the flow of the High Priestess itself. The prayer. Thank you, my higher self, and all the rest of us. Thank you. Let's see the outcome. What would Spirit like for us? The Six of Pentacles, a reciprocity, an even, balanced, luminous, full self, being love, and love coming to it. Like, just, it's a reciprocal process, right? Just like the ocean. That ripple effect, right? It works for you too. Because you feel your value in the moment that you're in, to change to whatever degree you desire that underworld in your hand and influence it with prayer. Just please believe me when I tell you prayer is real. And it can be dangerous. Every word is a prayer. Every thought is a prayer. Please play with the eternal prism of your soul, yourself. Listen to that voice, that guidance within. It evolves the world towards a heaven that is already here. Thorns are a thing. And they only sting until, we figure we are wiser, right? And the rose is worth it. We don't want to stop having life experience. We want to start growing from it, releasing it, accepting the lesson from it, or what have you. Growing from there. This is all about expansion. This is all about expansion. Three of Pentacles on the bottom. I love that. I love that. And ultimately, this message, this happiness, this permanent state of self-esteem, as in, I did that. The universe loves me. I love it. Everything, flows to me and through me. And I am aware of myself in any moment that I'm in. I do the best that I can with the shit I have to work with. And therefore, I have nothing ever to regret or be ashamed of, because I was myself in the moment I was in. Right? It's in your hands. It is definitely in your hands, and love yourself, please. Happy full moon. I will be doing zodiacs. Thanks again for likes and subscribes, and if you haven't, please consider doing so. Until then, thanks. Peace.